Hello, well, welcome back to the house. Man, it's been a while, but it's the things continue to go on. It looks like we're beginning to move to some kind of realization that things are going to begin to open back up and so forth. And it still hasn't changed the feelings that are around. I talk to a lot of people, and they still it's uneasiness and uncertainty in this pandemic time. But and have you had your moment of down? Just kind of depressed, maybe there's things in your life you're already stressed about, and this pandemic has really added to them, or maybe just kind of going through it, and you can't really even pinpoint sometimes why we're down. We just feel low. We just feel depressed, and those kind of. I remember my junior year in high school, I was playing basketball, and I just having a terrible day. I was that whole week really, and it was just moving toward. Just feeling really bad about playing ball and about school and about all kinds of things. I called my dad and before practice started that day, and I said, I'm going to go in and tell the coach I'm quitting. I just don't feel right about it. Just not really adding to the team, and I don't know. It's just not going well. And Dad said, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you practice today? And let's talk about it tonight, since you really haven't had time. I know you're down, but just go in and practice, do what you can, and we'll talk about it tonight. And that very day, the coach pulled me aside, and he started talking to me about how I was an important part of the team, and he was looking forward for me really participating and adding to so many different situations, a way that I was a team player, and I looked to play like that. And so it was just, I left that day like, wow, I was all lifted up and encouraged, and I went home, and Dad was like, well, how's it? I go, man, it's great. Never mind. Never mind. The Apostle Paul talks about things like that. Here in 2 Corinthians, the letter we call 2 Corinthians, chapter 1, he says, hey, listen, things happen that get us down. Things happen that are tough. Things happen that are challenge. And he starts this letter off that way, and he says, but God is the God, the Father of mercies, and the God of all comfort, encouragement, strength. Somehow, God is behind the realities of lifting us up. And that day was one of those days for me. And God is behind that somehow. And he is the God of encouragement. So I don't know if you're going through a downtime now, or you already have been in a downtime, or a downtime is coming. We can turn ourselves over to God and trust that he will encourage us. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be somebody that comes alongside us and lifts us up like the coach did for me. And then what Paul says is, do you know why we participate in God's comfort? His encouragement? So that we can encourage others. So it may be you're the one that's needing that lift right now. And it may be there's somebody that you could lift up. We've experienced those moments of encouragement from God. Let's share those encouragement moments with others. Hang in there. God is the God of mercy, and he is the God of all encouragement.